Hey, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Sports Report After Dark. Oh, my goodness. Fuck. I forgot my sunglasses. I am your host, Seven. With me is my co-host, Dan the Dick Warner. You know us from Monday nights with Sports Report. Tonight's show is a little different. We have a censor label for a reason on this show. We are truly horrible people. So if we do not offend you very quickly to start the show, give it time. We will say something that offends you. If we don't offend you by the episode, please seek mental help, because there is something wrong with you, just like there is something wrong with us. With me is my co-host. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say drop a line in our comment section, which is titled "I don't give a fuck."
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you're watching tonight, if you are a part of the Wire to Wire Sports Group family, and this is your first time experiencing an After Dark episode, please understand that if your kids can hear this, we're going to teach them new words if you don't put your headphones in. We do also have our good friend from the Sports Report with us tonight, Erica, who, despite the fact that she is a Dodgers fan, is actually a pretty decent person. So just we don't judge you for thinking about punching her in the mouth, but please don't. We do kind of like her.
You actually like me,
show, guys. I mean, I don't know that it was worth a 2-hour drive, but the mercy fuck was okay.
I was behind it. I was behind a vehicle with.
Next time.
I was behind a vehicle with Oklahoma plates earlier, and I just wanted to rear end it.
You know what's really
shitty Kia Sorento.
That's an Oklahoma handshake, man.
Yeah. The other day, Dan, I was driving behind somebody that had a Nebraska alumni license plate, and I was like, man, I want to hit them so bad.
There you go. But it's shared.
It's not a true Nebraska alumni plate unless it's misspelled. So tonight we've got a couple interesting topics here. I want to start with the allegations against Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, who is now subject to 9 allegations of improper conduct with a massage therapist, or as it is officially dubbed, pulling a Deshaun Watson. So my first question regarding the topic is this: does somebody have to have more allegations than Deshaun Watson for it to change from pulling a Deshaun Watson to pulling a whatever the new name is going to be? Or does the case just have to be more epic?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I don't know. It's Justin Tucker's like the ultimate Catholic kid, right? Too. So have you seen the video of him?
He's an Italian Harrison Butker, really, I think is what it comes down to.
He sings opera. He's actually an okay singer. Got pretty good voice. You guys haven't seen that video? We need to watch that video on here.
I have no. I seriously, I didn't know that he did opera. That's interesting.
Yeah, he sang Ave Maria at some one of his teammates' weddings, I want to say, and it is actually really good. It's legitimate. It's just so the massage therapy thing is so strange to me, because at what point? Okay, now it's turning the other way for me. At what point is it like? This is gonna sound fucking terrible. Are these women at some point? Is there like a group of them? I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying is there a group of them that is doing this as that's part of the massage thing? Okay, this is a serious question. Is there a group of them that is doing this as that's kind of our deal? You just ask for a happy ending. That's what happens at the end of it. And then these guys are getting the fucking message that this is a thing that they can do, and they're doing it to the ones that don't do it. That's a serious question, because at this point, what else can I think other than Why would you be doing this? If you're Justin Tucker, why are you doing this? For one, like not like you can't pick up women, even though you're a kicker, it shouldn't fucking matter, right? You're still Justin Tucker.
Not in the city of Baltimore, because with how he looks, like he's still like he's like a New York 6, but he's a Baltimore 10.
For sure. A New York
like
6.
But for me, there's a lot of red flags with this scenario, and then the first thing that comes to mind with me is there are allegations, like tweets talking about allegations about Justin Tucker being improper at a massage therapy clinic or spa, whatever you want to call it, back in 2021.
Yeah.
And if it's been tweeted, the Baltimore Ravens knew about it. And so my first question is, why is it taking this long for this information to suddenly come out? It's not like the Baltimore Ravens were looking for a reason to get out of their fucking contract with Justin Tucker after a subpar year.
I was going to say, look at directly at what money they're paying him and how it becomes advantageous to the franchise for that information to come out, which is, if you're any player anywhere, that's going to happen eventually, right? Like eventually you're going to get too old. You're going to outlive your contract. You're going to get to the point where these guys don't want to pay you that much money anymore. I mean, that's looking directly at it like that. It's like, are we talking about the STEM issue here, Tony? Or are we talking about the actual like fucking contractual Baltimore Ravens issue? Because the Baltimore Ravens issue is obviously like that can be contractual. Why did this information just come out now? Or we can look at the actual issue, which is like that Justin Tucker likes to get jerked off by massage therapists. You know what I'm saying?
I peed on my high school wall back in 2003, but I'm just getting questioned now. LOL. Man, you know what? It's sometimes those things come back to haunt you. Paula Dean called a guy that was breaking into her house the N-word 20 years ago, and she lost an entire Walmart line of pots and pans.
What?
You don't remember when that happened, when Paula Dean got canceled?
Wow.
She said the word or something, and like she got banned. Like they were like, no, pulled her. We're done.
So first of all, it was like the situation was literally, it was at a guy that had broken into her house.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first thing. Now, again, not condoning the use of the word, but let's look at the reality of the scenario here. If I'm an old Southern person and a black person breaks into my house and I'm trying to get their attention,
what word are you looking for? Yeah.
That word's going to be flying like pucks at shoot around for a damn NHL game. Like,
yeah.
And so she gets canceled. Now, she ends up getting quashed down because there was a lot of allegations of like improper treatment of staff members at restaurants and stuff like that. So it goes deep in that. But what started the snowstorm on Paula Dean was this allegation from 30 years before she got canceled, where she says this to a guy.
Yeah.
And it comes out that happened, and she's forced to apologize. So all of the stuff, like you go to Walmart now, you see Pioneer Woman, right? The newer cooking line that they do with their like floral prints and shit on that. That used to all be Paula Dean stuff.
And because of the story a long time ago. I get what you're saying.
Yes, and Walmart dropped an endorsement. Walmart dropped an endorsement of Paula Dean because of the N-word.
Who has an absolutely sterling record of human conditions treatment in their history.
Walmart. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now, Erica, one of the reasons I'm glad you're here is this is a part where you're gonna get to be involved in this conversation, and this is the part that's gonna piss people off. So
why did you bring me on for this part?
Because you're a woman, and if I speak up too much on this part of the conversation, I'm an asshole and I'm a horrible person. So, but as a woman talking about the subject, it's going to be a lot easier for people to listen and just argue about the content. So, and I know what you're going to say here. So I'm going to tee you up on this and let you go. There has been a lot of discussion about, because again, some of these allegations are from a few years ago, as Suggs was saying, and these women are just now some of these women are just now coming forward. Is there a reason to be critical of a person for waiting to come forward with allegations like this?
I mean, like in my mind, like I'm a woman that's been in a position like that. So like for me, like I wouldn't be waiting. Like, why would you wait? Like, go say something then, because now you sit here and you look like you're just after it to chase the money. Like, I mean, kind of goes right back to the Trevor Bauer situation, right? I'm sorry, he's so hot. But like it
Do you even know, Payne?
Does go back to that though, because like the girl slept with him how many times? Like 7, 8 times. And then she came out and was like, oh my God, he beat the shit out of me. But then all this stuff, and like his career got destroyed over it. So I mean, like, yes, like he was fortunate enough, like it wasn't true. And we don't know about Tucker yet, but like, I don't know. Like, to me, I just think that it's just like, it doesn't look good from a female perspective that you sit and you wait for so long. Like, and honestly, like I was getting ready to say, isn't there like a statute of time that like it has to happen in a certain amount of time for you to finally be able to come back and say something to like try and do something about it?
Legally,
like,
yes. Legally, yes, there is. There is.
Okay.
But it's a long time. It's
Is
a
it?
long time. Yeah, it's a long time.
Yes. You're right. You're right. There is a statute of limitations on the criminal side.
Yes.
I think on the civil side, it's not, because you can still sue for financial penalties. Like some of the women that made accusations against Bill Cosby, some of those accusations were from the 70s. And he didn't face criminal penalties for those accusations or criminal trial, but he did face civil proceedings and like civil lawsuits and stuff from those accusations.
So that's where that's where my original question came from. Kind of is like, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the legal side of things or the moral side of things? Because that's two completely different sides of the coin. Obviously, that's the thing where it's like, yes, legally within this amount of time it has to be done. Like, are we talking about what like? But we don't actually know if Justin Tucker did this. That's the fucking fucked up part. And like,
right, the question we even have
the question we even have, the way we have to raise that is why we even have to raise that question is actually kind of sad. But like, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about morally, did he do this? Like, what's going on there as far as like, does he just like to get weirdly jerked off by chicks? I don't know. Like that's really what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
With that being said, isn't there somebody like there's got to be somewhere else you can go to get whacked off, not a massage?
He doesn't need to pay for it, but like
exactly, that's the thing too. Like, you don't have to pay for it.
That's a thing, though.
No, and that's the thing. And like what we talked about with Justin Tucker, or I'm sorry, what we talked about with Deshaun Watson, what we talked about with Trevor Bauer. Like there is like and more and less so with Trevor Bauer, because obviously the truth came out about his situation. But when we look at guys like Deshaun Watson, we look at Justin Tucker, the nervousness of the situation, and are they going to consent and aren't they going to consent when it comes to springing consent on somebody? Because that's definitely
the only issue. That's the only issue.
And if you're putting somebody in that situation, springing consent on somebody does not mean you're getting real consent. That's not how it works.
It doesn't.
Or
forcing
when
somebody to make that
drunk,
decision.
They can't consent. Right. They need to be. It's about being allowed to make an honest, personal decision. That's especially what consent is.
Especially when you're in a perceived position of power, which all of these guys would be in an obvious perceived position of power. And then if you spring consent on somebody, you're not getting a real answer. Right. You're not giving them any time to think about it.
Yeah, you're not.
And somebody going, somebody might ask, how is somebody like Justin Tucker in a perceived position of power for somebody that is a massage therapist? And I can tell you, because my wife used to be a massage therapist, this is an easy question for me to answer. And a professional athlete being your client can make your career as a massage therapist, give you the ability to make more money, like charging per client. Because like with my wife, when she was able to do it, it was usually, she charged about $1 a minute, because she was going to you, doing all the setup and stuff like that. And it was more of a mobile thing. And she was charging $1 a minute. If she's got Justin Tucker as a consistent client, she's working on NFL players, that rate can triple.
I was going to say $5 a minute.
And that could triple, quadruple, five times. And so, just because you have worked on an NFL client, my wife worked on an NFL player in their rookie year when she was still working as a massage therapist. And that was a huge boost for her, both personally and a positive mark professionally, because she could work with those types of clients. Athletes have very specific needs. And if you have the ability to meet those needs, right, obviously, if you have the ability to correctly meet those needs and do it well, then it's going to be perceived more positively on you. So having an athlete talk about you positively as a massage therapist can make or break your career, literally. And so there is definitely a perceived position of power. And if you try to spring consent on somebody and you're in that perceived position of power, you are not getting real consent no matter what the answer is.
Yeah,
it isn't.
Right. And if that's what Justin Tucker did, then obviously he's a fucking dirtbag. Like that's really what it comes down to, because we don't know like what this is as far as that goes. Like I don't know. Like it has to be. I mean, okay, so. My stance on it as far as like the prostitution side of it goes, obviously we're not talking about prostitutes, but like if there is prostitution going on, I'm talking more like with the Chinese and the, you know, the Chineses, and is that the correct nomenclature?
With what what's his name? Robert Kraft did.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so
he thought that was prostitution.
Right. And I'm telling you right now, I think that everybody should be okay with that. I think that if there's an agreement that says, hey, we're going to get paid for doing it, this act, and it's completely consensual between both parties, I don't really know what the problem is there. Honestly, that's me. And maybe that's, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I have no interest in paying for sex outside of everything that I spend as a husband taking care of my wife. But no,
we're always paying for it.
Yeah. No, but I do not judge those that pay for sex. For some, that's what works for them. And you know what? You do you. It has literally zero effect on me. As long as both parties are smart, both parties are safe, both parties are consenting, I don't care. It's not my problem.
Right.
But when you get to the point where you are springing or forcing consent on somebody, or outright just forcing somebody to perform sexual acts on you,
especially from a perceived position of power, like these guys would have been.
Being in a perceived position of power makes it even worse, because there's a lot of damage that comes from that behavior.
I highly doubt it, John. I highly doubt Robert Kraft started it.
I don't think he's doing it.
Well, I'm saying, like, I don't think a whole bunch of dudes were like imagining Robert Kraft getting jerked off by a Chinese chick and being like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's probably not what started it, but like, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no.
Yeah. It's a relevant question, but no, I think, didn't the Deshaun Watson stuff start before Robert Kraft
started? Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Well, I mean, this has obviously been going on for much longer. I can't even imagine how long it's been going on for.
And I want to say this, and this is just because, again, the experience of my wife being a massage therapist. There is, I think, honestly for me, where this starts is the belief that any massage can be a massage with a happy ending. That anytime you walk into a place that offers massage, whether it's a chain place or a local spa, that there is a dollar amount where that massage therapist will finish you off. That is so much of a frequent issue that massage therapists have to deal with, that every massage therapist and spa and stuff, they have certain things in place to make sure that they can keep themselves safe in a situation where somebody's trying to do something. And it's part of the, you know, when you go, typically when you join a corporate job, you go through all these different training videos, and they always have a sexual harassment video. Massage therapists, spas, their sexual harassment video is far more jarring than you would think, as far as the type of stuff that they have to discuss in those scenarios, because of what massage therapists face.
Right, because you're basically doing something that could be perceived by a client as sensual as your job.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. And so there's steps to kind of diffusing the situation and getting out of the room, and the things that you have to remember and take note of, because it's not like you can have cameras in the room. The reason there were cameras in that room that Robert Kraft got caught in was because they were already doing a sting on the place. And, that was just a product of that sting because they knew what was going on, and they were also worried about the human trafficking side of what was also going on in that case. Kraft was 2019, Watson was 2020. Okay, so
regardless,
keep in mind, so that's interesting. I thought Deshaun stuff came up first, but keep in mind,
he was definitely doing it before 2019.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson was definitely doing that before. Because with 27 cases, and he got drafted, 2017, 2018?
I say it's one of those.
Those Clemson massage therapists will probably get the worst of it.
Right, and
it's probably not wrong.
Yeah,
he's probably not wrong. That's what's unfortunate.
I never am.
That's so much of what those individuals have to deal with, and this is both male and female massage therapists, because I know people don't talk about it enough, but women go in with that mentality as well.
100%. How many female teachers has there been now? How many female teachers on young male students has there been that nobody wants to really talk about? That's a choppy situation, right?
Yes,
that's been going on for anyway.
And that's the thing that's hard about this situation.
Erica's camera goes off.
I have kids being absolutely crazy in my house right now, and they're screaming, being insane. So I'm telling them to shut up.
Timing is lovely. I'm just kidding. You're fine.
No, it was just perfect timing.
Yeah,
no, but it's for me, the issue is here. First of all, if these individuals are victims of horrible behavior, then absolutely Justin Tucker should be held accountable in every facet, in every way that he can. I feel bad for his wife. I'm pretty sure he has a couple of kids. I feel bad for them too, because this is 9 allegations. And so that means that they are getting asked about these by people they pass on the street. Imagine being an 8-year-old kid and people are asking about your dad being
jerked off
by massage therapists.
Yeah.
Like that's
rough.
That I feel bad for them.
It's
like whether he's guilty or not, I feel bad for them. And I feel bad for, if these individuals are all telling the truth, which I mean, when the bigger the group, the more you can see where there's smoke.
Where there's smoke. It's that. Yeah. That's how it comes.
And you see a lot of smoke here. So something's not right. The victims, this is absolutely horrible. But is there something that comes from the NFL because of this? All right, nobody's allowed to use outside massage therapists anymore. Massage therapists use must be approved by the team in the NFL.
I mean, you would think that would kind of be like the instant that they would do after what they had with Watson and now having Tucker. How many more do you think might even potentially start coming out?
Depends on if they piss off their teams.
That's the second part of this.
That's another thing that pisses me off. These allegations have been popping since 2021, but the Baltimore Orioles are not going to face a single penalty for covering this up.
The Orioles are definitely not going to.
Well, okay, sorry. The Baltimore Ravens. Now, you know what? Fuck the Orioles. They should face penalties too.
They should. Adley Rushman's getting jerked off. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. I hate that switch hitting fucking catcher. God damn it. Fuck him.
Oh, shit.
Go Yankees. No.
Ew, don't ever say that again.
Man. Be quiet, Dodgers fan.
Yeah. The bully of the fucking,
you just think you're a badass because now y'all just got Bregman last night. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Here's the thing about Bregman. I was for signing Bregman. I've been, you guys know, I have been harping on we need to sign Bregman because I wanted Devers to get moved to first.
Well,
Story plays second, or Story plays short, Raphael plays second, or they kind of switch off whatever's appropriate.
Shouldn't it be Cassis at first though, and then you DH Raphael Devers? Wouldn't that be the
if you can get rid of Yoshida, the original plan was that Yoshida was going to be a part of a trade. Yoshida and Cassis were going to be part of a trade package for Luis Castillo Jr.
Okay.
From the Mariners, but that trade fell apart because the Mariners and the Red Sox couldn't agree on how much of Yoshida's money was going to be a part of the deal. How much Boston had to send to cover how much they had to cover Yoshida's contract.
I thought Yoshida played outfield.
No, he's DH. I mean, like, yeah, but they were just going to use him as a DH.
I got
like that because that's all he did for Boston. I think he'll go out like if they need to put somebody else as a DH, for whatever reason, then I'm sure he can play an outfielder because that's where you stick the guys with the least amount of skill. But you don't want him out there, like because I'm pretty sure I remember him playing left at one point, or maybe they might have stuck him in right because he's a little faster, so he can cover that right field side a little bit with that weird ass angle.
I was gonna say I didn't think he was like non-serviceable in the field. Like he was serviceable. It wasn't bad. I saw a couple of games of him in the field last year, and it wasn't horrible by any stretch. Regardless,
but I wanted
first.
Yeah, I wanted him because if like you get rid of him, you freeze up some money, because I think he's still got like $50 million left on his deal. And so you free up some money for that. It's easier to justify what you have to give Bregman or what you have to give Castillo as far as any extensions that they're due. I know they had to actually sign Bregman, and that was a 3-year, $120 million deal with opt-outs after each season. So we got Bregman. He's going to play second. You'll have him at second, Story at short. Cassis is still going to play first. Devers will still be at third. But we need a better third baseman. Devers is not very good in the field. Like great hitter. Like, and that's why I became a little frustrated.
Do you think it would help if he took that gigantic dip at shoe out of his mouth at some point? Like, do you think maybe he would like be able to see better? That's got to be like an entire tin of Zen pouches, bro. And he's got it wrapped in fucking bubble gum. It's like old school as fuck. It's awesome, man. Like that thing is just like, dude, it's out there, bro. Like that thing is fucking out there. Like I feel like when he takes it out, his fucking lip stays like that. Like it just like stays.
It's got to just be like a calloused hole at this point. Like it's just like a plant
so much. It's just chilling.
Yeah. He has no teeth. Yeah. He has no teeth down there.
He has nothing. Just nothing.
Yeah, it's just nubs. Like.
But okay, back on topic. But no, like it's. As much as I want Justin Tucker to be held accountable for anything that he did that he shouldn't have done, because it's not excusable. I almost did it again. God damn it. The Ravens organization should be held accountable for not acting on these allegations sooner, because 9 allegations is 9 too many. So after the first one, it should have been dealt with.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. He gets accused again. Guess what? You shouldn't be, really, if it's actually aggressive, sexual assault stuff, you should just be done.
So I don't understand why they would even like put themselves in the positions to like have this happen in the first place. Like the platform they're sitting on and I don't know. I just don't understand.
So I'll actually field this one for you. I was about to say something about this. So I can see, playing devil's advocate here, how it would be somewhat alluring or somewhat to the player, okay? Because he can't have a relationship. Obviously, he's married. He shouldn't be having outside relationships but let's be realistic here that the shit happens, okay? So so it happens outside. But like it would be, I can see how it would be enticing to these players to just have a situation where they go in, they get whatever they want fulfilled sexually off the table with someone who they pay to do it, and then they don't have to message that person. They don't have to talk about that person dating them. They don't have to deal with any of that shit because they're famous, okay? I can see how that could be enticing to a professional football player or professional athlete in general. Am I making sense there?
No,
I can see how that would be enticing, okay?
I mean, I can see it too, but still, why risk it? Why even risk it?
Because sometimes you got to get jerked off.
No point to do it.
Here's my thing, and if it really is, if there's not a consent part to this fetish, so let's say he's not as bad of a person, he just kind of got caught up in his own fantasy. It's really just the massage portion of this. Let's even reduce it to the most basic piece of the accusation. He gets somebody to jack him off when he gets a massage.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a kicker. He doesn't need that much of a massage. Go fuck yourself, dude. But moving on.
Hit that comment by John real quick. Hit that comment by John real quick. That last one. It's the thrill of being sneaky.
It's the thrill of being sneaky. Right.
John, that's okay. Kind of what I'm talking about. Like that's like kind of where I'm going with it is like it's okay with like that's if that's what they're doing, that's springing consent. Is what that is. Kind of.
Right, well, but here's the thing. let's say it's sneaky, but they just want to be able to do the thing and get the squeaky and pay for it, but it's not. But they want to be able to. They want to sneak doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that from pretty much every city around the U.S. you can fly to Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, a state where prostitution is legal, for under $200? There are multiple brothels just outside of Vegas or within 2 hours of Vegas.
But you're saying put a little bit more effort. Put a little bit more effort into your prostitution is what you're saying.
Right.
Like
jump on a private plane. Go. You know, if you have to jump on a private plane, because paying for a private plane to zip to Vegas and back after and get jacked off is a hell of a lot cheaper than losing millions of dollars a year in an NFL contract.
But that's not being sneaky.
Okay, but hold on.
That's not being sneaky. That's not being sneaky. That's
you know what else is even cheaper though? You could just talk to your partner and talk about spicing up your sex life, and you could do the same shit.
Listen, Erica, you're thinking about this like a woman. I need you to stop that for a minute.
Yeah, I need you to not do that because that's not what we're talking about. Men doing that. Like, that's obviously especially
It's and you're right. You're obviously the ideal situation is you're just honest with his partner.
It's not.
And that's what.
Listen, it's not hard for a man to also turn and be like, "Hey, like I'm really not enjoying it. Can we do something to spice it up?" Like that's not just like a woman's perspective. It's like
honestly, I don't think that's always something they could work. I don't think that's something they could work always. No doubt about it. Like it. Both sexes get bored with the other. They're going to get bored eventually. That's the thing that happens. I'm not saying it has to happen all the time. I don't think that
boys do like role play, like
I don't
spank each other, pull hair, choke.
Hey, hang on real quick. From a guy's perspective, is it still the same woman? That's all that matters. Is it still the same woman? I don't care if she acts like a fucking maid. Like I obviously know that's not a maid. I understand that's still that's a deal with a lot of men.
Hold up. I gotta interject real quick. I know I'm just
producer will, everybody.
But I just got how y'all doing? I just gotta say, Erica just said spank. Still doing that in 2025?
Yes.
If you want to make it spicy enough,
there's like a stack of forms you gotta sign now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to jail. I'm not committing a felony.
Like, I don't know.
Like anything involving like where there's potential for marks, choking, spanking, smacking. I've got like a legal document that has to be signed and notarized weeks in advance because I'm not going to. They can get Trevor Bauer, they can get me.
You started going off.
No, but Erica, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, that M&Ms, like the different colors, okay? We're going to use this as an example. Okay. Let's say that the different colors really do have a slightly different flavor. Every single flavor is just slightly different. And so you're the type of person you fucking love blue M&Ms, okay? Every fucking day, just a handful of blue M&Ms, just shoving them down your throat. Day after day, just blue M&M after blue M&M in your throat because you're a Dodgers fan. And you love it. But every once in a while, you look over, you see those red M&Ms.
You just wonder how those
are just sitting there. And you've had a red M&M before. You know they're not bad. They taste almost as good. And you're not seeing how much you enjoy the blue M&M. So you go pop a red M&M in your mouth, and the blue goes back to tasting with the greatness that it should be.
You still love the blue M&M. The blue M&M is still a fucking focal point of your life, and it is the absolute rock in which you will eat M&Ms.
But every once in a while, it's nice to feel that red M&M hit the back of your throat.
And it's okay that the red M&M was in your mouth for a little bit. It's okay because like you still love the blue in it. And like the blue M&M, it's a good job, Tony. It's a good way to break it down. It is because like you still love the red, or you still love the blue M&M. You're not going to fall in love with the red M&M. Okay,
leave it to Dan to get excited about a damn M&M.
You know what the red M&M is going to be. You know, like
damn M&M.
But
it works better with Skittles.
Like
back of your throat, you know it feels good.
Yeah,
and this is why but this is exactly why. Like, I'm not judging about the, if you just need to every once in a while, you got to mix it up. You got to have somebody break the wrist across you, something, whatever. Okay. You're that rich. You make millions of dollars a year. Jump on a private plane. Don't tell your spouse you're going. Say you got a late meeting for work, kicking practice. You got a photo shoot. You got to do whatever. Go jump on a private plane. Go to Vegas. Jump in a car. Drive to the brothel. Spend a couple hours there. Get off what you need to get off your chest, or wherever else you want to put it.
Get a shot of penicillin.
Go pick up the antibiotics from the pharmacist on your way out of town.
Jesus Christ.
Jump back on the plane, and you're back home in time for dinner.
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're there for 4 days.
At least
you're there for 4 days.
If you stop at a casino, you're not leaving anytime soon.
Road trip.
But there is, and that's just the overdone reasonable way to get it done. There are clearly safe and reasonable ways to accomplish the activity with reasonable consent.
That wouldn't be sneaky enough. Is it?
That's all out in the open. They can still be sneaky, even if you're not telling your spouse what you're doing and you don't want the press to get wind of what you're doing, and you're making sure that NDAs are signed and all of these other things are done. There are ways to still sneak around. So unless springing consent was the thing, there's absolutely no reason it should have come to this. And if springing consent was the thing the whole time, I guarantee you there's more allegations sitting there. There's more situations where he sprung consent on the woman that wasn't involving massage, and Justin Tucker is a sexual predator.
Yeah, that's two sides of it. There is. That's really, if we're going to get that black and white, it is the two sides of it that there is.
That's it.
Yeah. If that's your kink, then yeah. I mean, I get fucking therapy, I guess. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what other route you can really go there. Because if that's a thing, you probably need to look into the deeper reasons why that's a thing. Right?
Yeah, like there's something there.
Yeah. There's a control issue. There's some kind of some kind of fucking deep, dark, Justin Tucker's a Catholic, ashamed of himself kind of thing. That could be what, I mean, honestly, we're not going to get into that because that's a whole different conversation. But
right. There's always going to be some bad M&Ms, but if you get married, that shit's supposed to stop. And again, some guys get off on that thrill. And like you said, consent is a big thing. Do I think Tucker did it? No, but I think it's 9 versus him. And here's the thing. It is always possible that 9 individuals have conspired against him. Obviously, multiple individuals conspired against Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible.
That was only like 2 or 3
in recent history. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Where volume, the louder the volume, the harder it is to ignore the noise.
Right. And the harder it would be to somehow fucking get all of, to somehow construct this lie would be much harder to tell if you have this many different players in it. Like, obviously that would be a whole thing. So yes, it doesn't look good, but until some kind of truth comes out about it, I mean.
And that's the thing is you got to let the legal process play out. But the thing to me, honestly, above all else, an extended period of allegations. How are you as a Ravens organization not getting held accountable for allowing these allegations to stay under wraps for this long? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The timing is tricky. It would be easier. It would be easier to somehow get together 9 complainants if you were a large franchise with many different fingers stretching into many different pies, if you will. But that's, you see what I did. Yeah. But it would be easier to do that. It'd be easier to do that if you happened to have a lot of money that you could disperse evenly and get a lot of people to say things that you wanted them to say. In fact, because you know the amount of money that you will spend to get these 9 things to look like they're going to look, you're not going to spend on a kicker. And that would be the whole kicker to the situation, right?
Right. But the question that I have and this is something that I more recently thought of, and it doesn't make sense to me. Justin Tucker, he's got a $12 million salary. I think it was something like that.
A lot for a kicker.
Which it's a lot for a kicker.
He's honestly he's the GOAT though. He's the GOAT.
Right. I mean, one of the most automatic kickers up until this season. But the amount of money that you would spend as an organization paying off.
But John,
what
if I can pay $1 million to get 9 people to say the same story, and then they get guaranteed money on top of that without me having to pay it? Do I eat 12 million, or do I just take the 1 and we can get out of this a little bit easier? That's what I'm talking about.
But you mean to tell me 9 people that are willing to participate in that much of a scam are going to take that small of an amount from an organization like the Ravens?
They'll get more from the actual case on top of the fact that they'll get it from the Ravens. That's the deal.
But he's only made kicker money. And when you're suing somebody, they can only go after so much of your assets.
What's $12 million a year times 5?
That's 60, 70 million.
60, yeah.
I mean, you're realistically, you're not even looking at $1 million a person. So, realistically, if all 9 of these settle outside of court, this does not reach, the total settlement amount does not reach over $20 million.
That 12 million that you're talking, that John's talking about for 1 year, doesn't meet that.
For the 1 year in hit, right? But what I'm saying is, and people that are going to participate in this kind of a scheme where they're being paid off to lie about somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. They're, typically these type of people, they're looking at where they're going to get the most money from.
Right.
You have the potential of more money from a $1 billion organization like the Ravens than you will from a guy, $6 million a year. From a guy that makes $6 million a year. That means that if his lawsuit settlement total for all 9 of these women, if he settles all 9 of them out of court to make it go away, that's still going to be less than $10 million.
So more likely than not is what you're saying. More likely than not is that this actually did happen, and he did do something that was outside of, which was criminally or civilly, whatever, illegal, I guess.
Right.
He did do something like that, and that they're just, I don't even think that Ravens even had to fucking probably even sweeten the pot on that. You know what I'm saying? They probably just said, well, yeah, we should obviously all, that should obviously all be a thing if that's what happened. That's the more likely situation, right? That actually did happen.
What I think it is I think that it's almost something similar to what we saw with Deshaun Watson, where these individuals were told to hold their story back until the Texans were ready for the story to come out. And then everybody started talking about it. All of a sudden, the New York Post or New York Times or whoever it was that released a story about it. I think it was the Times. I'm sorry. About all of these allegations. If you're, as a Ravens organization, paying these individuals money to keep them from going forward, there is no way they weren't spending for this many individuals, depending on how recent some of them are. They had to have at least be spending close to his yearly salary paying these women off to keep them quiet.
Right. It doesn't make a whole ton of sense.
That's the part that I don't understand. Yes,
that leads
he is a very automatic kicker, but as far as clutch game time kicks, he has 1 or 2 a year that it's actually a big deal. It's not hard to find somebody. Okay, let me rephrase this. It's easier than you would think to get a reliable kicker that can kick as far as Justin Tucker.
Yeah. Right.
It's because there's most kickers in the NFL today can kick over 50 yards.
Yeah, you obviously
except for some of the extreme older ones, like Rodrigo. What was that? Rodrigo Blankenship, the one that looked like a slightly more Puerto Rican version of Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, that's accurate.
He's sitting at home on the couch, and that dude can kick over 50 yards.
Right. Doesn't seem like a whole ton of. It seems like too much fucking work for them to be some big conspiracy, basically.
Right. That's the part that I don't understand. Is why would you put so much energy in it?
That points towards that. Well, that points towards them. He just did it. You know what I'm saying? That's what this if we're trying to work out like whether or not he did it without any more factual evidence, like it seems like he probably did a lot of this. Like this seems like there was obviously fucking like violations made here and on Justin Tucker's part, because it doesn't make a whole ton of sense for them to do all of this work for like what? For what? You know what I'm saying? Like what would be the point of
the fact that 9 people?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like you're fine. Like it would still be like 2, maybe 3. I could be like, okay, this is kind of like not believable. Like people are trying to go against, but for you to have 9,
it's a lot of let's get together and like it just doesn't make a whole ton of sense. Yeah. Like it just seems like that's what happened. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Just if we're trying to like determine whether or not he actually did this or not, that seems like a lot of fucking work. Like on, you know, to be doing that for like what? Like you're saying, like for what? Like what you're going to be paying? You're looking at so many like people are asking questions about your organization, which is number one, not what they want, right? So like people are going to ask questions about your organization. They're going to fucking say things like we're saying right now. About like, did they fucking get it all together? Like that, they don't want that kind of fucking publicity. If this shit didn't happen, they would probably get themselves out of that and just like John said, eat the fucking 12, the 6, whatever the fuck's left on it, on that deal, and just say, hey, see you later, Justin Tucker, which is already going to happen, I'm assuming, right? He's not.
I think it was going to happen anyway because of what happened, how the season ended.
He doesn't survive this. He doesn't survive.
No, he does no.
So regardless, which is unfortunate if he didn't do anything, but like we said. Rough, dude. Like you're one of the most unlucky motherfuckers ever, right? And simultaneously one of the most lucky motherfuckers. Like maybe your luck run out for a couple of years, bud. Like that's you know. So
okay. So before we move on to our next topic and talk about Kadarius Toney's most recent catch, we are going to take a quick ad break, and I want to show a quick thank you to our friends over at WR Sports for letting us join on with them and bring our crazy brand of fuckery to your network. We appreciate you so much. There will be more episodes of this in the future as I get my equipment back up and running. And
I'm sorry,
WR,
I'm sorry that Tony builds this up. It's going to be the most offensive show ever, and then it doesn't really show up to be the most offensive show ever. But we'll he just builds it such a
we'll get there. The fun stuff's coming with this next topic.
I'm keeping let's keep it like fucking. I mean, expectations. We'll exceed them, right?
We're gonna expectations. We're gonna get there because
I don't know if I can. I don't know.
There's a lot we can do with our next topic.
A lot of pressure on me, Tony.
There's a lot we can do with the next topic. I think we're there. We're gonna take a brief breather, pay some bills, show some love to our ad partners, and we'll be right back with you here on Sports Report After Dark.
National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
All right, and welcome back, everybody, right here on the Sports Report After Dark. Seven and Dan, our next topic. This is where we're going to get in a lot of trouble. Kadarius Toney on January 11th made a huge case to get a shot to be on the Kansas City Chiefs next year, as he proved he can still catch around the Super Bowl after it was alleged that he caught and strangled his pregnant girlfriend and prevented her from trying to call 911 for assistance. He was arrested the week of the Super Bowl. I believe it was February 6th, on those warrants, and is facing multiple charges. So my question is, do you think he made a case to get back on the Chiefs, or is he an Oakland Raider for life now?
I mean, obviously you cut ties with that. Like, he's not Kadarius Toney at no point in his career has been worth this. Let's be honest.
So his career had already hit a low point earlier in December when he was cut by the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, if the GM of the Browns ever calls you, and you might as well just like go sell cars at that point. Like if the GM of the Browns calls you and cuts you for something, whoa, like, yeah, like to rethink what you did professionally. Like, and it sucks because you know what? I got a lot of Kadarius Toney rookie cards that are just gonna sit now. All right, that's really where I'm at with this whole thing. Like, I have so many of them that are so nice, and like they're just worth nothing now. You know, it's like not even worth the cardboard that it's printed on.
And in case anyone's asking, I've not seen anything about the medical information as far as if the woman who is alleging he strangled her was seen by authorities, there was any issue with the pregnancy. So one of the allegations, one of the information that can be heard in the call that TMZ obtained, she had run over to a neighbor's house. She was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant and holding their child. They were living together. I can't remember what city it was. I can't see the article right now.
I just want to give a shout out to TMZ. Like some of those people that work at TMZ are fucking dogs. All right, let's be honest. Those guys really get the story, and they get it soon. And like they're discredited because they're supposed to be like a celebrity. Fucking like fuck that. These motherfuckers are breaking news, dude. They got evidence. They got phone calls. They always have the fucking shit. Like granted, is it always news about people famous? Yeah, it is. But like they're the ones getting the fucking first. Like, and they're not fucking around, dude. They're like legitimate journalists. Just so we know. The TMZ shout out to this fucking.
I will say it shocks because like we all and of course we make jokes about TMZ because they're definitely like a tabloid news type thing. I think that's why, because so much of what they do is celebrity stuff. It's seen as tabloid, and there's definitely some gratuitous speculation with some of the things that they discuss and they talk about. As far as like, you know, could this be true or whatever? But like there is also a stunning amount of true hard-nosed journalism that goes on at TMZ.
There is
actual evidence. They can cite sources a lot of times with some of the bigger stories.
And yeah, like I get it. Like they're bloodsuckers. Like they run off of like people who are famous and shit. Like I get that whole thing about it, but like these motherfuckers are doing some big J journalism, dude. They're fucking they get all the shit. They're dogs. They get down in the fucking deep, and that's what journalists are supposed to do. Get the truth about shit. I mean, they do. Like yeah, they speculate about stuff and whatever, but like these motherfuckers are always coming out with like. They drop stories like it is, like what was it? Fucking the Luka trade and shit. Like they figure. Or, sorry, a lot of these professional athletes figure out about stuff from TMZ calling them about comment on stuff. You know, like they figure out they got cut or they got traded or something because TMZ called them first. Like Jesus, like these guys are working. Like they're working hard.
TMZ, it's crazy because like there are certain things like the celebrity news. Like if I'm seeing rumors of a celebrity death. I go to CNN. I go to Fox News. Yeah, I look at TMZ. Like, it's TMZ saying it. Like, that was seriously when I got a text, somebody saying on New Year's Eve 3 years ago, I was doing shrooms, and somebody sent me a text message that said Betty White had died. I was like, there's no way. And I'm starting to see it on Facebook. I would not believe it until I looked and I saw it on TMZ.
Yeah, legitimate. And they probably had like sources saying like, oh yeah, we called this person. Yeah. Like they're just dogs. Like you have to respect that fucking like that's it. Like, and yeah, they do it about celebrities, but like at the same time, like that's the fucking root of journalism is like they're getting calls, they're getting people on the fucking ground, and like good for them. Like these motherfuckers are dogs. Just saying. That's all. I was just gonna give a shout out to TMZ.
No, that's for sure. Like respect for it, but like with this call, I mean, you get this information on Kadarius Toney. So first of all, like I think it's ironic that he strangled her when he looks like his eyes are popping out of his head, like. You know, the Simpsons episodes where Homer would strangle Bart. He squeezes his neck and his eyes pop out.
Like the animated version, yeah. Like he's a fucking...
Kadarius Toney smiling kind of looks like that. And I say that as a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he went to Florida, though. He went to Florida, though, so God knows what's going on down there. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, if he went to Florida, like, I mean, if you had to look at that much ass walking around in bikini all the time, your eyes would get that big, too. Like, look at Tyreek Hill. if you look at Tyreek Hill's facial expression when he was in Kansas City versus now that he lives in Miami and he gets to see all that ass walking around, like his eyes are a little bigger, bro.
This is my impression of Tyreek Hill's pictures for a second. He's like this. Every time. He's like mouth open smile, dude. Like that guy's just on cloud 9, has no idea where he's at. He's like, I'm just really fast. They just give me the ball. I guess yeah. Like, dude, his traffic stop is so fucking funny, dude. Like have you guys watched that? Seen that about him getting arrested? Okay. Dude, it's great. Fucking him just starting talking shit immediately is my favorite thing ever. Like that, and that's why they pull him over. Or like it's not necessarily why they pull him over. Like that's why he gets arrested, is because he's just talking shit.
Yeah, and John, I think you're right. Because especially you have a guy like Kadarius Toney who was a practice squad to B team receiver at best
in Kansas City.
Like
I mean, out of Florida, he was legitimate in Florida. He was really good at Florida.
Well, right, okay, in the pros. You know, and some guys, their skills can't translate from the college game to the NFL. Happens all the time.
A lot of guys' work ethics is probably the actual issue, because Kadarius Toney had all the physical tools. It's just, I mean, it just comes down to like what mentally. I mean, that's literally what we actually based this show on when we started it, was like, what's actually going on mentally, because you can have all of these fucking physical skills, and there's a lot of guys that do. Okay, like Zion Williamson should be the most dominant player in the NBA right now. Okay, Zion Williamson is not the most dominant player in the NBA right now, because Zion Williamson doesn't care about playing in the NBA. That's basically all it is. All that comes down to it is like he has just been that physically talented, that freakish, and like that's the same thing with a lot of these guys. Like, where's their mind at? Do they train?
If you were making $30 million a year and had all of that amazing Louisiana, New Orleans cuisine, like Cajun cuisine at your fingertips, you're back in call 24/7. Oh, I want some beignets. Just pick up my phone. You better bring me a box of them right now. Okay, Zion Williamson, please don't eat me. Here's a box of beignets. Like that's all he has to do. Like, I would be 400 pounds as well, so I can't judge.
Has the skinniest chicken legs that can jump as high as you've ever seen. Motherfucker's been skipping leg day since he was fucking 12, and he just can still skyrocket 300 pounds into the air over 40 inches. I want everybody to just stop and think about that for a second. Okay, that's how freakishly and naturally athletically talented this guy is. Okay, he's like that's unreal.
40 inch?
Dan, real quick.
Zion Williamson 100% has a 40-inch vertical. 100%.
Real quick, Dan, you remember a player by the name of Larry Johnson?
Larry Johnson, great example. Ate his way out of a lot of NBA contracts because he didn't give a fuck. This guy was so freakishly talented that he could have just went. Yeah, like that's new school Zion Williamson, or old school Zion Williamson. It's the same thing.
Yep.
100%. Yep. LJ.
Yeah. No.
LJ.
No. But
Zoltan.
With Zoltan. Wait, Zoltan. There it is. Underrated movie. Okay. Seriously underrated movie.
Supposed to do it. Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Still not doing it. Not concentrating on what she's doing. Nope. Anyway, not even paying attention. Look, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. She doesn't have the same.
I don't pay attention to basketball like that. I don't.
Nope.
Like.
No. It's not basketball. It's Drew, where's my car?
I don't even know what you're doing.
Zoltan.
Have you ever seen Dude, Where's My Car?
You've never seen Dude, Where's My Car? What the fuck?
Oh, so we were giving your friend shit this morning for not having watched American Pie, and you haven't watched Dude, Where's My Car? I thought you were cooler than that. That's why you like to hang out with the guys.
The worst, best movie ever. Like, it's the worst, best movie ever.
I always heard that it was so stupid and a waste of time. It's
so dumb. It's not. It's so stupid and so much waste of time. It's not a waste of time.
But I have seen Grandma's Boy.
That's a legit movie. Not the same thing.
But with Dude, Where's My Car? I'm serious. Now the first I saw it in theaters. Actually, I remember seeing Dude, Where's My Car in theaters. I was actually 13. It's the only reason they let me into it was because it was PG-13 movie and I was 13. Aging myself a little bit, right? And I saw it like that, but like as an adult, Erica, I'm telling you, as a fellow stoner.
Oh God, it's so good. It's a stoner movie. You gotta get stoned before, for sure.
It is a true stoner movie. This is
anybody who's not doing that, by the way, getting stoned before they watch a movie. I mean, come on. Definitely. I mean, duh.
You just smoke a nice full bowl.
Fuck are you
smoke a
doing?
nice full bowl,
What are
and
you doing? That's terrible. That's terrible.
watch
Dude,
watch Duisburg My Car. It's worth it. It's a solid stoner flick. And there are so many other jokes that you're going to have heard from people that you didn't get.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
going to
for
watch that movie and you're going to go, oh my God.
Yeah. It's that good. Like it's plus it's Sean William Scott and Ashton Kutcher, like
in their early part, like
New School.
oh,
Yeah.
Stifler's in it.
Sean
Stifler,
William
yeah,
Scott, yeah.
it's Stifler and Kelso.
And Kelso, yeah.
Oh God.
Stifler and Kelso, yes, it's chef's kiss.
The
Like,
tattoo
it's
part, the
fucking
tattoo
beautiful.
part is one of the most famous movie scenes I think of all time at this point. Like,
Oh, God.
dude, what does mine say?
Dude.
Sweet. What does mine say? And they have literally dude and sweet tattooed on their back, and they're fighting because they're like saying the opposite word, and they think they're like responding to the other one's tattoo.
Oh, see, I know
it's
that
comedy.
line.
Fuck yeah,
I know
it's
that
comedy.
line, but I
Fucking
never knew it
gold.
was from that movie.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's comedy.
Oh God, it's so
Yes.
so good.
Yes.
It's comedy gold.
Oh, what brand was the car? It was a fucking like it was like a fuck. That's a good question. What was the car?
I was like a Tercel.
It's a little like fuck yeah, dude. What does mine
Was
say?
it- I was-
Sweet. What does mine say? Yeah.
I thought
Yes.
it wasn't it like something like a busted Tercel or something like that, or like a Civic.
Tell us the answer, John. Because it's a little like it's a tiny little fucking like Geo something, like a Geo Metro or something.
Oh, like a Geo Metro, right?
That's
Yeah,
what it looks
something
like.
like that.
Yeah, like a little tiny thing.
Or what was the Chevy one? The Chevy Sprint. My mom had one of those.
The Gremlin. There you go.
Oh, Renault. Oh, okay.
Oh, it wasn't a Gremlin.
No, it was not. No,
Tiny
it was.
little fucking thing.
I've seen that. I've seen that before. I've seen that before.
Like it was like almost like it was a two-stroke engine, like you had to pull start it.
Yeah. It ran on a lot of farts and hopes.
Yeah.
It didn't have an engine. There was just like a propeller and a rubber band in the engine compartment.
Yeah.
When to start the car, you just went and just wound that motherfucker up.
It was a go-kart with a fucking fiberglass shell on it. Yeah, you just fucking yeah. It's a lot like a lot like Erica's vibrator. Has a pull start. There's a ding 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 ding.
Dude, she has just switched to the straight plug-in one. She doesn't even waste time with batteries anymore.
It's a 220. It's a 220 plug.
Oh yeah, it's
like a washing machine plug. Yeah. Yeah.
She had to put soundproofing in her bedroom wall so that they couldn't hear her because it sounds like a jackhammer when it first starts up.
Yeah, it comes with like a actual fucking chainsaw end on it, so like you can chains out the ends. Like you can use it as a small tree cutting fucking.
It's actually an attachment for an industrial Milwaukee power drill. Is what it is. That's the vibrator.
It runs off of the fucking solar power.
You would know, wouldn't you, Dan?
Yeah, actually, apparently.
Well,
silence.
All right, I wanted to close with this. We'll do a quick little topic on this. I'm sure will pop back in to discuss this as we talk about now where we've started to see the dust settle from the Luka and Anthony Davis trade. Now, they want to get your input on this, Dan, because some of the word that was coming out of the Mavericks camp when Luka was traded, he was 270 pounds. He wasn't in shape. He didn't want to do their conditioning program. I've watched 2 games. I've watched the 2 games that Luka played in.
Looks like he's pretty in shape, doesn't he?
That does not look like a 270-pound man running up and down that court.
He's 270 easily. He's sick. You gotta realize he's 6'8", dude. He's a big dude.
Okay.
He's 6'8", bro. So he's a big dude. So this is a big guy that doesn't play. So he's never had to be athletic. That's the whole thing. Like this motherfucker was playing pro Euroball at 15 years old. Okay. Like, so this guy knows how to fucking play. Like, he talks a lot about like the fucking defensive 3 seconds rule in the NBA too, where you can't stay in the lane for 3 seconds. Do you know how fucking huge that is in the game of basketball? Like as a whole, it's how it's played. Like that makes the game easier for dudes like him because it can, like, he just gets to his spots. He plays at his own pace. He doesn't have to be athletic. He's never used athleticism as the way that he beats people. It's out of like just pure skill. It's European style. It's European style ball. That's how they play. Like it's the whole thing. So like he never needed to be in shape. He weighs 270 pounds legitimately. Like he's a little bit fluffy. Motherfucker likes to eat. Like we're saying, like that's fine. Like he stays in pretty good fucking condition, honestly. Like and that's a steal and a half for that's a like.
Well, no, and this is so yeah, perfect time. Doesn't AD always get hurt around the All-Star game? So that's that's a very common thing for AD.
AD's got a lot of quitting him.
A lot of quitting him. Yeah. I wanted to get your thoughts on this because this is something that I've kind of been wondering about myself. This kind of feels like the kind of trade that David Stern would have shot down.
No, this is David. No, that's what I was going to guess. So Adam Silver, I've been saying this for a while now. Adam Silver fucking wants to do the WWE style NBA. Okay, he wants to make this like this is fucking like we put our stars in our places. Like this is like entertainment. Okay, this is the next step towards that. Like Adam Silver like fucking did this. Why would you fucking turn down that trade if two teams are willing to make it? Why do you turn that down? If it's something that they can do legally within the fucking parameters of the NBA trade deadlines, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like what is like. Why would you shut that? Why would you shut that down?
Hold on, we talking about Chris Paul to the Lakers?
No. Well, kind of. With the trade with AD and Luka, like it feels like the kind of trade that David Stern would have shot down.
But here's the thing, though. Y'all have to remember the thing with David Stern. David Stern didn't turn down that trade as a commissioner. He did it as an owner.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Because they were running the Pelicans at that point, right?
Remember. Okay. He was a majority owner in that team. The league was a majority owner of that team. And and that team was never profitable. And if Chris Paul would have left, that team would have lost more money. So that's why that trade got shot down. Remember, he did not do it as a commissioner. He did it as the owner of the team. Not lost. He's more than amped to do.
It feels. Thanks, Well. We appreciate you. It's such a lopsided trade for me. I'm all for the Lakers having their dynasty in that brand because I am a firm believer, kind of like with baseball. When the Yankees, Red Sox, and Dodgers are good, baseball has better ratings. Yeah, just without question. Like it's from an objective point of view, and that's just because that's our three teams. It is a stated fact. It is a proven fact that when Boston, when the Red Sox, Yankees, and Dodgers have good teams, Major League Baseball has better ratings. When the Lakers and the Celtics have good teams, basketball has better ratings.
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear that the NBA Finals is between the Hornets and like whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the Hornets and the Timberwolves. Like nobody fucking cares about that shit. You know, like they really don't. Like that's like unfortunately that's how it is. And like this makes like Dallas is a different story. Okay, Dallas is a fucking huge market. Okay, but like LA's a bigger market, obviously.
Is Dallas a big market for basketball though? Because Phoenix is a huge market, but the Suns are a small market team based on actual traffic.
I think you saw from what happened in the aftermath of the Luka trade that fucking market is obviously a pretty large. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very
fair. Yeah.
And like they had the secondary guy behind Dirk too. So like they had the next European white dude that was gonna fucking dominate the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who they had, and like that's a huge part of I think what their thing was with Luka was like obviously that he's like Dirk Nowitzki's like undershadow as far as like that's like what Dirk was too. Like obviously they have different style of playing all that shit, but like they're European white guys.
And they play different positions, don't they?
100%. Yeah, Luka's considered a point guard. Luka's considered a point guard. He's a point forward, is what he is. He's like the epitome of what a point forward is, and like that's why a lot of people thought it wasn't going to be like a good match between him and LeBron. But like LeBron matches with anybody. If you've ever noticed, like it doesn't matter who he has on his team. He changes his game to make it advantageous for everybody.
LeBron's so good. He plays the game the way it needs to be played to match with what's on the court.
Yeah.
That's whether you like whether you think LeBron is the GOAT or not, that is something that I've always appreciated about him. He works well with other people because he melds his game to what they have.
Well, he's a great passer. On top of that, like he's willing to like he will make the best basketball move no matter what. And that's to a fault.
LeBron, stop inhaling the beignets. Yeah. No, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. He has no reason not to.
He inhales New Orleans women and beignets. Like it's fucking like he just.
You think Zion just devours New Orleans women like they're chicken wings?
Absolutely. Just like there's an eating element.
Sauce too.
there's an eating element to it. Like if you don't come in there with like some strong game on, you're gonna eat, like something's gonna be eaten in that bedroom. You're not doing it with like Zion's. That's what he's there for.
Zion definitely looks like he uses barbecue sauce as lube in the bedroom. Like that's the vibe that I get.
Yeah.
From Zion Williamson.
I mean, I think that's actually true. I'm just kidding. That actually came out. That's a thing.
That's a thing. That's how Zion gets canceled. He forced a woman to pour barbecue sauce in her butthole.
So John, who are the first two then? Who are the first two European? We're talking European white guys then, right? Because it would be Wemby. Because it'd be Wemby and Luka is what you're saying. And then Porzingis is number 3. I could probably think of another one that's probably better than Kristaps at this point.
Third I would say Porzingis is probably third.
Yeah, for sure. Hot sauce is better. Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, there's something going. Like, this motherfucker, like, he just knows that, like, he was, dude. Like, he's still. I mean, this dude still. He don't play much, but like when he does play, still explosive. He's still incredibly. He still goes out and fucking has. I mean, let's not like the amount of like. That's really the bottom line here is that I don't think we've ever seen anything as like lacklusterly fucking crazy athletically talented as Zion Williamson, just like for no reason other than he just like go out there with his chicken legs and fucking jump 40 inches. Like that's just like what okay. So yeah, no, I definitely, well, Wemby's European technically, he's French. So that's what I was going to go to, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. Definitely.
Well, but honestly, then I would move Porzingis to 4th because I would move Porzingis to 4th because you'd have
Wemby,
you'd have Wemby, Luka, and then
Jokic. Yeah.
Jokic.
you forget about that Jokic is European because it's like a staple.
Well, I think
Giannis. Yeah, Giannis. I knew there was more, John. Like there's a lot.
Giannis.
Like, there's a lot in front of Porzingis.
Yeah.
There's a lot in front of him. Yeah.
Yeah. I would put. That's hard. I don't know that Wemby would have to be either 1 or 2 for me.
You're putting Kristaps in front of Victor Wembanyama? I don't think that's very smart.
I don't watch basketball.
I'll take Giannis. Yeah, I'll take Giannis in front of him for sure. Giannis is a good pick in front of him. So yeah, Wemby be like 4.
I would say Wemby, Luka, and Giannis are 1 through 3
for sure.
And whatever order you choose is best.
Jokic. No, dude, Jokic has to be number 1 on the list if you're gonna put him on the list. He's won fucking 3 out of the last 4 MVPs. The guy's fucking averaging a triple-double. He's one of the most statistically ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay. I'll give you Jokic at 1, Wemby at 2.
Yeah.
Luka at 3.
Oof. Yeah, see, I got him. Yeah.
Jokic,
Luka are number 1, 2, in whatever order you would like to put them in, I think. Honestly.
Jokic, Luka 1 and 2. Okay. And then Wemby.
Giannis. Giannis is fucking goddamn it. Giannis is up there too, dude. I don't know. That's such a ridiculous question. John, can you just drop that on me right now?
I would almost put Wemby ahead. I would almost put Giannis ahead of Wemby just because of the fact that Wemby's so good.
You absolutely put Giannis ahead of Wemby.
Yeah. I just said okay. So that puts Giannis at 3, Wemby at 4, and then Porzingis at 5.
Because we can't think of any other ones, because I bet there's another one. Somebody else can bring up here in a second. There is. Like, there's another, like, because there's the European ball's fucking coming up, buddy. Like that's why it's so much harder to fucking win the Olympics now. Like, because there's people everywhere. Man.
There's so much more talent parity around the world when it comes to basketball.
100%.
It's because it's not. Yes, it's a physical game, but it's not a full contact sport.
Like,
and so as a result, you don't have as much of a physical risk if you have your workers, your aging children training for this kind of a sport. So even in third world countries like Russia and stuff like that, it's so easier to have not just the facilities, but not have to worry about risks.
And the style of play over there is conducive to the NBA. Like I was talking about with like Luka's, like his biggest thing was like, there's no defensive 3 seconds. What? Like what? Like they can't just drop a guy into the lane and be there for like, because dude, that's so huge. Like you have to stay out. They're actually, the defensive 3 seconds rule, what it does is it makes you spread out the game. So like that's that. I'm glad he brought that up, by the way, the Budweiser thing, stop dating, because the Budweiser thing, that's what he does is like Luka drinks a lot, dude. He's like a 25-year-old guy. Like he's just like hanging out, being himself, Eastern Europe. Like he don't give a fuck, dude. And like he drinks a lot of beer. And like there's a picture of him and Cuban drinking beer together and shit. Like there's like he's all about his fucking beer and and I can get you out of shape, but like he doesn't need to be in shape. That's the thing. Like he is in shape enough to play his style of game. He's
so good that his version of in shape, it's a different standard. and the Mavs are the Mavs are wanting him to just be in this peak athletic form, this definition that they have. And he turned around. Actually, I saw something on this. He was talking about it. Luka hired his own nutritionist, his own trainer, his own everything. Nobody criticizes LeBron for having those things, but all of a sudden, 25-year-old generational player Luka Doncic has it, and it's a fucking problem.
Yeah, well, how's that a bad thing? Like, you just want him, because I feel like it's like a control thing for the Mavericks. Like, they wanted to be like in control of everything that he like, oh yeah, he needs to eat this ball. Like, when he hires his own people, it's like it offended him. I
think it's Nico Harrison. Honestly, I think Nico Harrison is a problem, and I get why Mavs fans are mad at Nico Harrison.
If it's not Nico Harrison, I would like to know who is responsible for this abysmal fucking trade. And I get stylistically how you could fucking go maybe for this team right now, if you plug Anthony Davis and take Luka out of it, how they could be closer to a title. And that's fucking crazy to say because Luka is literally like the second or third best player in the world. Okay. But just for stylistically, I can see how he might get frustrating at times and stagnant as far as you don't think that he's playing the right game. Like he plays this weird kind of point forward game, where it's everything's slowed down and all this shit. Right. I get that. Yeah. And how is that conducive to winning? Obviously it fucking is. They made the finals last year. Okay. So did it not get them over the hump? Because Boston somehow played fucking a different style of game than they did. I don't know. I feel like that's a fucking far stretch to trade the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit much. Maybe don't trade him.
To me, it would be like Kansas City trading Patrick Mahomes to the New England Patriots.
It would be kind of it's all in the same comp, but it'd be like them trading Patrick Mahomes for for Jalen Hurts right now. For a guy who's a less, but not because he just won a title. Not as good as Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, if you get one of the Philadelphia Eagles executives drunk and ask him a question on, say, if he wants Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna say Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna say Patrick Mahomes, and that's at the time.
So much of Philly's success was that offensive and defensive line, which didn't just battle the trenches; they were the trenches.
100%. Yeah, they dominated
both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So, right. I mean, if you give. With the fact that Patrick has won 3 titles behind, and 2 of the 3 titles that Patrick Mahomes won were behind god-awful lines.
Yeah.
You put him behind Philly's offensive line.
With those weapons.
He's going to throw half the game over the back left-handed just to keep it fair.
Yeah, I feel like it's with that stacked of that's what I'm saying. So you send Luka to and they're, I don't know if you heard about their Mark Williams trade. So Mark Williams, they were trying to get Mark Williams there if they did that, and they were going to trade him for Dalton Connect.
Pet the cat.
Yeah. Come on, pet it. No, pet it real slow. No, but yeah. But that, anyway, that Dalton Connect trade, I didn't like that particularly. I think Mark Williams is a volume guy, and he plays for Charlotte. Yeah. So right. He's fucking, he's a volume guy. John, I don't know, but I get what you're saying, John, and I think that is a lot of But the gangster photo, and I actually became kind of a Jalen Hurts fan. Did you see the gangster ass photo with him holding the fucking Lombardi trophy and he's got the joint in his mouth? Have you seen that picture?
I think it's a Cuban, not a joint.
It's 100% a blunt, dude. It's 100% a fucking weed blunt. 100% a weed blunt. Dude, it's great. He's sitting there in the locker room. He's just basically sitting on his
I'm
back.
About to send it to you.
Holding between his legs. It's fucking great, dude. That's a blunt for sure. I was implied when I saw the picture that it was a blunt. That was what but he's smoking. Yeah, it's great. It's a fucking great photo. But I thought that was pretty gangster. But other than that, they could have won with a lot of guys back there. That's with that line and the weapons that he has. But I'm not taking it away from Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that I could go out there and fucking play quarterback.
No. He did what he had to do. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bag on him. I'm just saying he probably obviously that roster's going to get him a little bit underrated.
Well, and Kansas City said you're gonna beat us over the air, not on the ground, and he said okay, and he did it.
Yes,
that's exactly what they did. And so as a Chiefs fan, I I can't believe the run that the Chiefs have been on over the last 3 years.
It's amazing.
The fact that we got to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row. We got two of the 3 times.
I think there's things that are like physically impossible in this world to happen. And I think one of them is 19-0 or what would be 20-0 now. I don't think you can go undefeated for an entire NFL season. I think there's too much parity. I think too many different things can fucking happen to fall not your way. Right. And like, that's like, I think that's one of them. And I think 3 straight Super Bowls is probably in that same kind of realm. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so ridiculous.
That's fair.
Like, there's a reason why nobody has done
it. That's a cigar. It's a cigar.
It's a cigar. It's not
a blunt. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a cigar. But
I fucking hate Jalen
It's still a dope ass picture, though.
It is still a good picture.
Here's the thing. If it's an actual Cuban cigar, not only is there THC in that, but there's also cocaine in it.
There's cocaine
in
it.
So I mean,
aren't they illegal?
It could be illegal. That's the real reason why Cuban cigars aren't allowed in the U.S. is because real Cubans have cocaine.
Yeah, well, and there's like trade embargoes and shit with Cuba. I'm pretty sure that we're not supposed to be like getting their stuff or whatever.
But if I recall, those got lifted during the Obama.
Okay, so maybe they're legal. I don't know.
It's different now because like you can. I can't remember what it was. I think they were lifted for a little bit or something. I can't remember what it was.
I started smoking cigars, by the way, for like a little bit, and I had to stop because I was like, this is like too good. I was like, I'm good on this. Like, I don't want to always be smoking. Like, because I will do it all the time. Like, dude, they're so awesome. It's like Scotch.
You also inhale when you're smoking a cigar.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I get it in there.
I do too. I do too. That's why I don't. So I'll get like one every couple of months because
I can't do it. Like, I was smoking for like 3 days one time, and I was like, I will literally spend my entire paycheck on this. If it's possible, I will fucking buy everything that I can find. Like, they're so good.
I have bought entire boxes of cigars. I bought entire boxes of cigars before.
Dude, they're ridiculously. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's like a Scotch thing. Like, it's almost like an acquired. Like, once you get the taste for it, you're like, why is that so bad and so good at the same time? Like, it's fucking. They're so good. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't exactly. Like, I don't know. Like, Scotch is so good, and like people are like, oh, it's so gross when they first taste it. It's like, yeah, is it? Because pretty sure you can acquire the taste for that, and it's fucking fantastic. Like, it's so good. Like, yeah, they were just like super good to me. I was like, I got to stop doing this. Anyway, back to the Luka thing though.
Back to the Luka thing. It's just from what I've already seen and watching Luka. I think that once he and LeBron get comfortable around each other, this is going to be a solid season. And I think that LeBron's going to feel a lot better about retiring after this season because of the fact that Luka's there. Because I think to an extent, LeBron cares about the Lakers brand for the NBA because he knows that the Lakers brand being successful is important to the NBA success.
Yeah, I think Adam Silver knows that too. Obviously, I think that's why. Like, I think this why a lot of this went down is because obviously you don't like. Yeah, Dallas is not as big a market. I don't know how big their market is as far as like their fans are obviously committed. But like I just think LA is a bigger market. That's where you would want Luka at if you're going to pick where to go, right? And like it actually does work if you're going to Nico Harrison's route and what he said that like Anthony Davis lets us win a championship now. Like if you're selling out and going like it kind of weirdly does because of the style of play, like what Anthony Davis is. If he stays healthy, it is the best chance for them to win because they have players like. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing, and yes, I get what you're saying to a point. But the reason for the thing that I keep coming back to is you can't look at Anthony Davis without seeing the moniker of street clothes or always down, always destructible, and anytime defeated. Yeah.
Just because he's been healthy the last year and a half does not mean that he's going to stay that way or like that you just now you trade. Yeah. Fucking A. No, not at all.
Bronny's getting benched. How can you feel he's getting benched?
He didn't get benched. He just got brought back up from the G League, so like he's actually doing pretty well. He actually hit a couple. He actually hit a couple fucking like
I don't know basketball.
Nasty shots.
He's
not. Bronny James can play in the NBA. I'm actually going to correct myself and say that like I was saying that Bronny shouldn't even be in the NBA at this point, but like the motherfucker can play in the NBA. Like he's legitimately. Yeah. Will he ever be
with better coaching? He looks better now than he did it when he came up. Well, when he initially like at the start of the year.
Guy's worked on his game for sure.
He has, and
he's still 6'3".
And that's why I think that because it's Bryce is his younger son's name, right? The one that's actually like
Bryce Young.
legit.
Bryce Young. Yes, yeah.
And he committed to, what was it, U of A? Was it U of A or Arizona State?
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he peaked at college. I think it's in Arizona. So, and I want to say it's U of A.
He wears the Horace Grant. Wears the Horace Grant goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think is going to be interesting to see. But for Bronny, I mean, he's going to be a second team guy for his career, though. I don't know that he ever becomes a true starter.
It's going to take a lot of improvement. Honestly, to even get into a rotation in the NBA legitimately is going to take some work on his.
Yeah, he's a garbage time player right now.
Bronny, top 5 of the G League? Yeah, for sure. He's the top 5 player in the G League. Yes.
Rather have him over Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons isn't even in the league anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Is he out?
No, I think he's no.
He signed out with the Clippers the other day.
Okay.
He's a good D guy. So like they say 3 and D guys. He's a good D guy. Just D guy. He plays good. Like he can guard 3 positions.
Okay. All right. We're hitting up on an hour and a half. John, thank you so much for coming in. Everybody else coming in and supporting us tonight. We will get more shows like this, and we will have our true AD opening and everything here in the future. I just need to get my computer back, which hopefully happens tomorrow or Saturday.
You got to take it for investigation.
And no, it did not. Don't say that. But I will.
Resources.
We'll bring the show back more consistently here in the coming months, and we'll definitely make you question why you follow us at least once.
Yeah. Why do I fucking watch this show?
That's the goal.
I mean, that's
always the goal.
Duh.
For our producer Will, our guest Erica, my hetero life mate Dan the Dick Warner, I am 7, signing off here on the Sports Report After Dark. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Dan, did you go get your antibiotics, bro?
Yeah, that's good, man. It cleared up.